Life is not always smooth sailing, and in difficult moments, we sometimes feel swept away by challenges that seem insurmountable. The pain, failure, or seemingly endless anxiety can make us lose patience and lose our sense of direction. But there is a profound truth that Stoic philosophy wants to convey. Everything happens for a reason. These challenges and difficulties are not random or meaningless. They are an essential part of the journey of growth and development for every individual. Stoicism, an ancient school of philosophy, has taught us that every fluctuation in life, whether joyful or sorrowful, carries valuable lessons. The Stoic philosophy encourages us not to resist or avoid adversity, but instead to learn to accept and face it with steady reasoning and a peaceful soul. Living by Stoic principles does not mean ignoring emotions, but mastering them, finding peace within ourselves no matter how the world around us changes. Stoic philosophy is not just advice, but a way of life, helping us stand strong in the face of any difficulty, unshaken, always finding strength within our inner selves. Number 1. The idea of impermanence and acceptance in Stoic philosophy. Impermanence is a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy, which helps us realize that this world, with all that we know, is in a constant state of change. It applies not only to the external material world, but also governs our inner world, emotions, and thoughts. An undeniable truth is that everything changes, sometimes dramatically, sometimes gently, but nothing is eternal. And in this change, Stoic philosophy teaches us how to face it, how to accept it, and, more importantly, how to remain calm in the face of adversity. Life is inevitably filled with challenges and difficulties. Every time we encounter a setback, it could be a loss, a failure, or a broken relationship. Feelings of anxiety, unease, and the desire to resist such changes easily arise. However, Stoic philosophy does not encourage us to fight against these events. Rather, it invites us to view everything through a different lens. Instead of clinging to a static state that we desire, Stoicism teaches us to recognize that all things and phenomena have a natural cycle. The key is not to stop change, but how we face and accept it. Marcus Aurelius, the famous Stoic emperor, wrote in his book Meditations, "Everything that happens is either endurable or not. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining." This quote is not just a statement, but a powerful reminder of the impermanence of everything in life. If we can recognize that nothing is permanent, we will not feel confused or disappointed when facing loss or challenges. Instead, we will accept it, learn to adapt, and see each change as an opportunity to grow and mature. Change, though difficult, is an inevitable part of life, and if we learn to accept it, we will be able to maintain inner peace despite all challenges. Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, is a living testament to the power of acceptance in overcoming hardship. Despite being born a slave, Epictetus rose above and lived a resilient and free life, not because he didn't face difficulties, but because he accepted the things he could not change and kept his spirit strong in every circumstance. He never complained about his fate, but always sought ways to control his emotions in the face of adversity. Epictetus's resilience came not from physical strength, but from his ability to maintain calm in the mind, from the clear understanding that change is inevitable. Imagine one day you are walking in the park and suddenly a heavy rain starts. You weren't prepared, and discomfort begins to take over. You're soaking wet, cold, and your hurried steps can't shield you from the downpour. The feeling of helplessness and stress rises, but instead of shouting or complaining about your bad luck, you stay silent. You become aware of each gust of wind, each cold raindrop falling on your body, but you do not let them affect your emotions. You breathe deeply, feel your breathing, and realize that the rain is just a part of the impermanent flow of life. Instead of reacting with negative emotions, you choose to observe, accept, and continue walking, because you understand that everything changes. The rain will pass, and you will learn to adjust yourself to live in harmony with every circumstance. This is the power Stoicism offers. This is why accepting impermanence is not resignation, but an art of mastering emotions and thoughts. Acceptance does not mean giving up or surrendering to fate. It means understanding that life is a continuous chain of changes, and facing them calmly is the key to maintaining inner peace. This creates confidence and inner strength, helping us not to be defeated by external factors. So, how can we maintain calm in such difficult situations? The advice from Stoicism is to focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our reach. One of the things we can control is how we react to change. Change comes and goes, but how we face it will determine our attitude and emotions. When we accept that everything changes, we will no longer be swept away by negative emotions, and instead, we will become stronger in the face of every challenge. Life is a continuous cycle of changes. The sensations of itchiness, hunger, tension in the body, and even the changing weather are all manifestations of impermanence. They are just moments in an ongoing flow. So why do we let the changes in life mislead us? Instead of obstructing and fighting them, Stoicism teaches us how to live in harmony with those changes, so that every step in life is filled with patience and peace. With Stoic philosophy, every difficulty is an opportunity for us to grow. When we accept that nothing is eternal, we will learn to face changes calmly. And that is the key to maintaining self-respect and dignity in life, not being disturbed by factors beyond our control. Next, we will explore another interesting concept in Stoic philosophy. Hardship is an opportunity for growth and development. Can we truly find opportunities in adversity? Let's continue our journey exploring the profound lessons from Stoicism. Number 2. Difficulties are opportunities for growth and development. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth. When we overcome obstacles, we become stronger and more knowledgeable. We learn valuable lessons about ourselves and the world around us. At the same time, we also develop new skills and abilities that can support us in other areas of life. Therefore, the next time you face a challenge, don't view it as a burden or something negative. See it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Challenges will sharpen you and bring about powerful changes in your life if you know how to leverage them. In Stoic philosophy, challenges are not seen as bad things, but as opportunities for us to train and grow. Surely, life will never be free of difficulties. In fact, one of the core principles of Stoicism is accepting that we cannot control the events that happen to us, but we can control how we respond to and face them. A quote by Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor and philosopher, is a clear reflection of this view. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote from Marcus Aurelius expresses a strong and positive mindset towards challenges in life. Instead of viewing difficulties as burdens or barriers, he encourages us to turn them into opportunities. Each challenge, each difficulty, can become a stepping stone for us to grow, become more knowledgeable, and develop valuable skills. It is the obstacles that drive us forward, and they create the path to maturity that we cannot walk without going through these difficulties. When faced with adversity, we have two options: either give up and feel like a failure, or stand firm and learn from what has happened. Seneca, another famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This quote emphasizes that just as our muscles need to be challenged through strenuous work to develop, our minds and spirits also need challenges to become more resilient. The difficulties in life are truly opportunities to build patience, resilience, and determination. Each time we face a challenge, we become stronger, and each such moment is a step forward toward growth and maturity. Thomas Edison is an exemplary figure of perseverance and determination. Throughout his process of inventing the electric light bulb, he faced thousands of failures, over 1,000 times. Each time he failed, instead of feeling discouraged or giving up, Edison saw it as a step closer to his goal. His famous quote, "I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," clearly shows his positive and persistent attitude when facing difficulties. Edison's failures were not simply setbacks, but valuable lessons, things he needed to learn in order to eventually find the right method. Each time he failed, he analyzed the cause, adjusted, and tested again, refining his solutions. Therefore, he did not see failure as something negative, but as an essential part of the process of creativity and invention. Finally, that perseverance helped Edison achieve great success with the invention of the electric light bulb. This is not only one of the most important inventions in history, but also a clear proof that every challenge, every difficulty, no matter how big, can become an opportunity to learn, grow, and progress. In reality, challenges do not only come from work or career, but they can also arise from challenges in relationships, family life, or within ourselves. We may find it difficult when facing changes, making important decisions, or encountering unforeseen situations. However, it is during these moments that Stoicism teaches us how to respond calmly and rationally. This philosophy encourages us not to rush into emotional reactions, but to think and learn from each circumstance. We need to recognize that within every challenge lies an opportunity for us to develop in a more comprehensive way. Growth from challenges is not only about overcoming difficulties, but also about self-control, self-understanding, and the ability to maintain inner peace. Stoicism not only helps us handle difficult situations, but also helps us maintain calm and self-respect in stressful situations. Practicing Stoicism is learning to accept that there are things beyond our control, and instead, we focus on mastering our reactions. Growth comes from not allowing external factors to shake our minds or decisions. Once again, Marcus Aurelius's words serve as a powerful reminder. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in our way is not an obstacle, but the path itself. Every challenge will sharpen us, making us stronger, wiser, and more confident. And when we face difficulties, we not only learn many lessons, but also develop new abilities that we never thought of before. Therefore, when facing the next challenge in life, remember that this is an opportunity for you to grow. Do not see it as something bad or an obstacle, but consider it a step forward toward becoming a better version of yourself. Challenges are not something we should fear, but opportunities for us to rise, learn, and mature. Please share your thoughts on how you face difficulties in life and the lessons you have learned. How can you learn from challenges in your life? Number 3, the relationship between actions and results. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Every day, we face countless situations, from the small challenges of life to the major events and difficulties. These events, whether good or bad, are not always within our control. However, what matters is not what happens to us, but how we choose to act in response to them. This is one of the core principles in Stoic philosophy and the key to understanding the relationship between action and outcome. In life, we can only control our reactions to circumstances. Circumstances and events that occur are sometimes inevitable, but how we react to them is entirely within our power. That is why Stoicism asserts that the relationship between action and outcome does not always follow the immediate action leads to immediate result model. Instead, it is an ongoing chain of responses, where our actions can change the outcome, even creating results we could not have anticipated. In fact, every outcome in life is a reflection of our past actions, attitudes, and choices. Seneca's quote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," carries a profound message about how we tend to worry, stress, and feel defeated by situations that have not yet occurred. The human mind can make us imagine the worst possible outcomes, which then lead to actions that are lacking in confidence, decisiveness, or even wrong. This is clearly reflected in life when we face difficulties or challenges beyond our control. However, instead of succumbing to fear, Stoicism teaches us to act with calmness and maintain a steadfast attitude. Only when we act with reason and emotional control can we achieve positive outcomes. One key aspect of Stoic philosophy is taking responsibility for our actions and decisions. While life may present challenges, no one can deny that it is ultimately up to us to decide how we respond to those challenges. If faced with a difficult situation, instead of blaming circumstances or others, Stoicism reminds us to take responsibility and reflect on ourselves. This personal responsibility leads to growth and positive outcomes that we can achieve in life. This theory can easily be illustrated through one of the greatest examples in history, Stephen Hawking. Born with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, Hawking faced a bleak future where movement seemed impossible. The image of a man unable to stand, unable to walk, and needing a wheelchair is a rather tragic picture that many people can empathize with. However, instead of allowing this disease to imprison his dreams and aspirations, Hawking chose a different path. He not only accepted his physical condition, but also rose above it to continue pursuing his passion for science. Despite physical limitations, he continued to research, teach, and write books. His book, A Brief History of Time, became a global phenomenon, helping millions of people better understand the universe and the mysterious wonders it holds. Through his research, Hawking changed the way we understand the formation of the universe, black holes, and the theory of time. His contributions are not only valuable in the field of science, but also serve as an inspiration to those facing difficulties in life, proving that no matter how tough the circumstances, we can still achieve greatness if we don't give up. Looking at Stephen Hawking's life, we can clearly see the relationship between action and outcome. Even though he had a severe illness, he did not let it define his life. Instead, he chose to act. Every lecture he gave, every book he wrote, was an act of determination and indomitable will. The result was a great legacy in science and an example of mental strength overcoming adversity. Thus, in Stoicism, action is not just what we do in the moment, but a reflection of the values, beliefs, and attitudes we maintain. Every reaction in life is a choice, and mastering these choices is the key to achieving the outcomes we deserve. By changing how we act and react to circumstances, we can change our entire lives. When faced with challenges, instead of fearing or blaming, we should act with confidence, calmness, and responsibility. Stoic philosophy also encourages us to see every difficult situation as an opportunity to grow. We may not be able to control what happens, but we have the power to control how we face those situations. Every challenge is a lesson, every difficulty is an opportunity to affirm our worth and grow stronger. It is our actions in these difficult times that will create results, and these results will shape the person we want to become. From this, a question arises for each of us. Are we acting consciously and taking responsibility for our choices? Or are we letting external factors dictate our lives, causing us to lack confidence and decisiveness? Every action, whether big or small, contributes to the results in our lives. Stoicism is not only a philosophy of resilience, but also a call to act proactively, control emotions, and respond to life's challenges with subtlety. It is through calmness and self-respect in every action that we will build a life worthy of the outcomes we desire. Share your thoughts on the relationship between action and outcome in life. What do you see in Stephen Hawking's story or in Stoic philosophy? Leave your comment below this video. Number 4. Acceptance and letting go to find inner peace. In a world where chaos often seems beyond our control, Stoicism offers a path to tranquility by teaching us to let go of things that do not serve us and, instead, focus on cultivating a mindset that accepts what we can control. As Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, profoundly said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This simple yet powerful statement highlights the essence of Stoic thought. Although we cannot control the external world, whether it be the actions of others or the challenges we face, we have absolute authority over how we respond to those circumstances. The essence of Stoicism lies in the awareness that true peace does not come from attempting to change or control the world around us, but from learning how to control our reactions and inner attitudes. Imagine a moment when you are sitting in a stressful situation, engaged in a conversation with a loved one. The discussion becomes heated, emotions rise, and you feel the tension beginning to engulf the space around you. Questions, criticisms, or rebuttals follow one after another, and your mind starts to become disordered with frustration. But then, you pause. You take a deep breath, and instead of reacting immediately, you choose to remain silent and observe. You understand that this situation is beyond your control, that the other person will have their own perspective. Emotions may either fade or intensify, and the conversation may continue in a direction you did not desire. However, you have control over how you respond. In that moment of silence, your decision not to react immediately can bring calm and clarity, allowing you to maintain respect and dignity, while also opening up the opportunity to express your viewpoint more clearly and calmly. This silent observation and the choice to step back reflect the core of Stoicism: acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation. Rather, it is the understanding that some things lie beyond our influence. Trying to resist these external factors only leads to exhaustion, stress, and frustration. When we accept what cannot be changed, we are freed from the burden of resistance and instead find strength in the ability to choose our response. We recognize that life is full of events that we cannot predict or control, and the only thing we can truly control is our attitude toward those events. In practice, the Stoic principle of acceptance asks us to focus on what is within our control: our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Instead of wasting energy on things we cannot control, we redirect our efforts towards improving ourselves. We train ourselves to respond with wisdom and calmness, rather than allowing external situations to dictate our emotional state. This shift in perspective brings peace, as it frees us from anxiety over trying to control everything around us. A powerful illustration of this principle can be found in the life of Albert Einstein. As a child, Einstein was not a prodigy. In fact, he could not speak until he was 3 and was considered to be slow in his early years. Teachers and friends saw him as a poor student, and he faced many difficulties on his journey to greatness. However, Einstein did not let these early struggles defeat him. He did not waste time complaining about what others thought of him or wishing he could change his past. Instead, he accepted these challenges as part of his journey and focused on what he could control: his passion for science and his relentless pursuit of knowledge. Despite facing many challenges, he ultimately became one of the greatest physicists of all time, revolutionizing our understanding of the universe with the theory of relativity. Einstein's life is a testament to the Stoic principle that no matter where we start, we can change our path by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what is beyond our control. In our own lives, we often face moments when circumstances seem unfair, overwhelming, or beyond our ability to influence. It is easy to fall into the trap of frustration, resentment, or self-pity, believing that the world is against us. However, Stoicism teaches us that peace does not come from changing the external world, but from mastering our own inner world. By accepting what cannot be changed and letting go of the need to control every outcome, we create space for stillness, clarity, and peace. When we allow ourselves to focus on what we can change our reactions, attitudes, and actions, we begin to experience a profound sense of freedom. We no longer feel bound by the twists of fate or the actions of others. Instead, we become the masters of our inner world, guiding ourselves toward the peace we seek, regardless of external circumstances. This mindset not only brings freedom, but also strength. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It is a proactive choice to relinquish control over things beyond our grasp, while fully embracing responsibility for how we respond. It is the recognition that our emotional peace is not determined by the outside world, but by our inner state. And when we can let go of the need to control everything, we create space for inner peace to flourish. As we reflect on the lessons of Stoicism, it is important to remember that peace is not a destination, but a journey. It is a continual practice of letting go, choosing our reactions, and nurturing a mindset that values calmness over struggle. By accepting what cannot be changed and focusing on what we can control, we find stillness within, allowing ourselves to navigate life with grace, wisdom, and confidence. In the next section, we will explore how to maintain inner peace in all circumstances, even in the face of difficult challenges, and how this practice can change the way we interact with the world around us. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the art of maintaining stillness amidst life's storms. Number 5. Maintaining inner peace in all circumstances. We often face situations that cause our moods to fluctuate and emotions to become unstable. Whether it's challenges at work, arguments with loved ones, or even inevitable losses, people can easily fall into a state of stress, anxiety, and insecurity. However, in Stoic philosophy, inner peace is not something distant, but a state that we can achieve and maintain regardless of circumstances. The Stoics do not teach that we must be indifferent or cold towards the world around us. They do not say that we should not feel or experience suffering. Instead, this philosophy asserts that maintaining inner peace is the key to preventing us from being overwhelmed by external influences. In the eyes of a Stoic, what matters is not how events occur, but how we choose to respond to them. Every event, whether good or bad, is beyond our control. However, the only thing we can control is how we face and respond to those events. When the unexpected happens, we may feel confused, anxious, or even disappointed. Emotions are an inseparable part of human nature, and in those moments, if we're not careful, we might allow them to overpower reason and cloud our clarity. But Stoicism teaches us that in the most difficult moments, we should not let emotions take control, but instead turn inward and seek peace from within. This requires great patience and a strong ability to self-regulate emotions, because inner peace does not come from eliminating emotions, but from adjusting how we respond to them. One important factor that helps us maintain inner peace is the ability to focus on the present. Stoicism encourages us not to be bound by the past or worry about the future. The past cannot be changed, and the future has not yet come. Only the present is the reality we can influence. When we fall into negative thoughts about what has passed or worry about what has not yet happened, we lose our self-control and clarity. Instead of getting caught up in unfounded thoughts, Stoicism teaches that we must live fully in the present moment, focusing on actions we can take right now to improve the situation, thus building a better life. In this life, no one can avoid challenges and difficulties. Even those who have achieved success and are admired have gone through their share of pain and hardship. A vivid example of resilience and the ability to maintain inner peace is the story of Helen Keller. Despite being both blind and deaf from a young age, Helen Keller did not let these disabilities break her dreams. She overcame all the tremendous challenges to become a famous author and activist. With her perseverance and courage, she proved that nothing is impossible if there is strong will and determination. She shared a profound message: we cannot do great things without perseverance. Helen Keller's story is a clear testament to the Stoic philosophy of maintaining inner peace in all circumstances. Although she faced a world full of challenges and difficulties, instead of succumbing to feelings of injustice or self-pity, she chose to confront reality without letting negative emotions dominate her. Helen Keller was not just a survivor of adversity, but also a symbol of inner strength and the inner peace that anyone can find. no matter the circumstances. We may wonder, in difficult times, is it possible to maintain inner peace? When everything around us is chaotic, can we avoid being swept into the whirlpool of negative emotions? The answer is yes, if we learn to adjust our minds and view events the way Stoicism teaches. When facing challenges, instead of looking for reasons to worry or suffer, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? What can I change right now to improve my life? These questions not only help us maintain clarity, but also create a positive change in how we perceive and face difficulties. Stoicism is not a distant philosophy, but a practical tool that helps us maintain inner peace in any situation. It is an ongoing process that requires practice and patience. However, if we can understand and apply this philosophy in our lives, we will discover that no event or circumstance can shake the solid foundation of inner peace. Every challenge, every difficulty, every event in life, whether painful or harsh, is an opportunity for us to practice emotional control and maintain dignity. Just like Helen Keller, Stoics always believe that nothing is impossible if we can maintain peace and never give up. Practicing inner peace not only helps us overcome every challenge, but also serves as the key to living a meaningful and free life. We have explored together one of the valuable lessons from Stoic philosophy: everything that happens has a reason. In life, we cannot control everything, but we can certainly control how we react to what happens. Stoicism teaches us that events, whether good or bad, have their own value and can be opportunities for us to learn, grow, and strengthen our character. Calmness, acceptance, and the ability to respond purposefully are the strengths of Stoic individuals. So, what do you think about this philosophy? Have you ever faced a challenge where you felt everything happened for a reason? Feel free to share your thoughts and stories in the comments section below this video. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. If you find this video helpful and feel inspired by Stoic philosophy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos. Stay tuned as we continue to explore more life lessons, inner peace, and strength from Stoic philosophy. See you in the next video.